Hello class, welcome back to another math video lesson. In today's lesson, we will be going over chapter 10, section 6. So let's start on page 501. Problem solving, display data. So the essential question for this section is, how does making a bar graph help when solving problems about data? So we're going to be using more bar graphs to help us solve questions about the data. So let's start with this example. Maria recorded the rainfall in her town for 4 months. So the survey is her recording the rainfall. The data is here on the right in the green. This is what she recorded. So the question is asking us, how did the amount of rainfall change from September to December? So we need to make a bar graph for that in order to answer that question. So what are we looking for? What do we need to find? We need to find how the amount of rainfall changed from September all the way to December. So 4 months. What information do I need to use? The amount of rainfall in each of the 4 months, that's the information you have to use. So let's begin by coming up with a title for this bar graph. So a good title could be something like Rainfall in Maria's town. Alright, and then we have here from 0 to 5, this is the amount of rainfall in inches. And then here we have the 4 months. So for the bottom line, we can write down what all of these categories have in common. September, October, November, December, those are all months. So now we can start filling out the bars for the information. So September, we can see here that it had 4 inches, so we count from 0 to 4 for September. And we see we can draw the bar graph for the bar for 4 amount of inches for September. Now the amount of inches for October is 3, so we can go all the way up to 3 and draw a bar. For November we have 2, and for December we have 1. So what do you see here in this example, in this data? Did the amount of rainfall as we progressed in the year, right, as we went from September to December, did the amount of rain go down, or did the amount of rain go up? Or did it stay the same? What do you guys think? The amount of rainfall decreased. It went down. So you could write a sentence saying that the amount of rainfall decreased from the months September to December. Students, we are now on page 502. Try another problem. So make a bar graph to solve this problem. First, you need to figure out, what do I need to find and what information do I need to use to find it? So here's the problem for number 1. Matthew measured the height of his plant once a week for 4 weeks. So just this one sentence, we can see that the survey was conducted by Matthew, and he measured the height of his plants one time each week for 4 weeks. So we can see here's the data that he collected by doing that. On May 1st is when he started, and he got 2 inches. And then he did that one time every week, so you can see here we're skipping 7 days each, so 1 week, for 4 weeks, so we have 4 weeks total. Now the question is asking us to describe how the height of the plant changed from May 1st, when he first started, all the way to May 22nd, when he ended. So let's start filling out the bar graph. We need to start with the title. So a good title for this bar graph would be Height of Matthew's plant. Alright, that's a good title. Now what do we put here on the left? What do these numbers represent? Those numbers represent the height in inches. Try to move this out of the way. Okay, and now what do we write for this line on the bottom? What do May 1st, May 8, May 15, and May 22, what do those have in common? What can we write for this category? Something like the date. These are all dates. So the height, oh yeah, let's finish creating the bars now for the data. So here's the data in the orange box. May 1st, we have 2 inches. So May 1st, let's go ahead and do 2. May 8th, we have 3. So let's make a bar for May 8. That stops all the way at 3. May 15 stops at 5. So let's do May 15. And then May 22nd goes all the way to 7. So let's go all the way up to 7. So looking at this information, what do you guys think? Did the height of the plant, did it go up? So did the plant get taller? Or did the plant go down in height and get shorter? Or did the plant stay the same throughout all 4 weeks? What do you guys think? The height of the plant grew taller. So something like the height of the plant grew taller from May 1st to May 22nd would be a great answer. Students, we are now on page 503. Make a bar graph to show the problem. So here we're going to do another one just like the previous example. So let's try to do number 2 on our own, and if you need some extra assistance, you can come back to the video and I will go over it with you. So I'm going to go over number 2 with the class now. Number 2, Bianca wrote the number of hours that she practiced playing guitar in June. So we know with this first sentence that Bianca created the survey, and here is the data in blue for what she got. So she wrote the number of hours for practicing guitar in June. So we can see June has 4 weeks, and each week she practiced guitar. So now we need to create a bar graph using this data. So let's start with the title. The title could be something like Bianca's guitar practice. Something along those lines. Now, what do these numbers represent on the left? Those numbers are the hours that she practiced her guitar. And then what do these weeks have in common? What can we write for that category? They're all weeks, so we can just put week here. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. They're all weeks. Now we can start filling out the data. For week 1, she has 1 hour. For week 2, she has 2 hours. For week 3, she has 4 hours. And for week 4, she has 5 hours. So looking at this data, did she practice more over time? Or did she practice less over time? Or did she practice the exact amount of time? So the question now is asking us, describe how the amount of practice time changed from week 1 to week 4. So how did it change? The practice time went up, went down, or stayed the same? What do you guys think? So the answer is that the amount of practice time went up. She actually started practicing for more hours each week as the month progressed. Bianca's practice time is 4 hours in week 5. How does her practice time change from week 1 to week 5? So now let's add some more information. They're saying that now we're going to add another week. So week 5, let's add week 5 right here. Now for week 5, her practice time went up 4 hours. So for 5, we can draw a bar that goes up to the number 4. So now we see that when week 5 came, she started going back down, right? So that's what the information is telling us. So if she practiced for 4 hours on week 5, so we can put if Bianca practiced for 4 hours on week 5, comma, her practice time would have gone down by 1 hour. Something like that would be a good answer. Class, we are now on page 504. Problem solving applications. Number 4. How many strings are 9 inches long? So this is going to be a little review to when we were in the classroom and we worked on these. These are another form of graph. Like this is going to be like tallies or bar graphs going up. So if we look here, we can see that this is going to be a ruler on the inch side. We have 6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches. How do we know that? Because we have here the title, we have lengths of strings in inches, so that we know that these are going to be, the strings are going to represent the x's, and this is the length down here. The 6, 7, 8, 9 is the length of the inches. So how many strings are 9 inches long? So if we know the x's are the strings, we need to go to the 9 inch and figure out how many there are. So we can count them and see that there are 3 in the 9 inches. So we can conclude that there are 3 9-inch strings. So the answer for number 4 would be 3. Number 5, how many strings are more than 6 inches long? So how many x's represent the strings? How many are more than 6 inches long? So we count all of them except the 6 inches. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 strings are more than 6 inches long. Number 6, David measured the snowfall for 4 weeks. Fill in the bubble next to all the sentences that describe the data. So make a bar graph to solve the problem. First thing we need to do is complete the bar graph in order to use the bar graph to solve the problem, of course. So first step is the survey, and we have the survey title already, we have the survey categories already, and we have the data for us on the left. So all we have to do is make the bars now using the data. So week 1 we have 1 inch. Week 2 we have 2 inches, so we count up to 2. 3 we have 3 inches. And week 4 we have 4 inches. So we can look at the data and see that as the weeks progress, as we go up in the weeks, the snowfall seems to go up as well. So it's increasing, more snow as the weeks progress. So which answers can we bubble for this? Which ones make it true? Which sentences describe the data? So the first one, there are 2 inches of snow in week 2. Is that true? Let's see, we have 2 inches and week 2 they match, so it is true. We can circle that one. The amount of snowfall increased each week. Is that true? Well, it looks like it's going up as each week goes up. So yes, it is true. All the way to week 4 where we get the most snowfall. So it does increase each week. So snowfall decreased from week 3 to week 4. Decrease meaning go down. 3 to 4, it looks like we're going up, not down. So we can't circle that one. That's wrong. Now the fourth one, there were a total of 4 inches of snow in week 2 and week 3. So a total amount would be added together. So week 2 we have 2 and week 3 we have 3. 2 plus 3 gives us 5. 5 is more than 4. So there were not a total of 4. So we can't circle that one. For the last one, there were 3 more inches of snow in week 4 than in week 1. So in week 1 we have 1 inch, and in week 4 we have 4 inches. 4 minus 1 equals 3. So that means that there were 3 more inches of snow in week 4 than week 1. So we circle it. Alright students, that concludes today's lesson. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you all for watching my videos. This is going to be the very last one. And I wish you all the best of luck in the test on the chapter exam. You guys are all going to be great 3rd graders next year. And I wish you all the best of luck and success in your student career. So I wish everyone a great afternoon and take care.